these past few days being here has just been so nice to reset both my mind and my body and get into the water. And yeah, I feel so privileged that I'm able to do it. And yeah, it's a shame that not everybody does get that opportunity. The swimming really and getting people into the pool is really getting them in their most vulnerable state. Not only are they, wearing their swimming costume a bit more naked than they probably usually are, but they're also in a completely different environment than anything. In water, you move completely differently than you do on land. Your body feels completely different, you have to breathe differently. And for me, it's such a privilege that people trust me in that vulnerable state. You get to a stage where you realise how powerful nature is and how small we are compared to nature. The water does actually change how people conceive of themselves. I think very often we have tunnel vision as to how we should operate in this land and how we should operate in life. The land that we live on, the water that surrounds us, and I think to have that notion is so, so powerful. Through swimming, I've definitely fostered a much stronger connection to the land that we live on and the water that surrounds it. Nature is for everyone. It is actually really an exclusive place, and that can be for a variety of reasons. It could be, money, geographical location, land ownership, etc. But definitely, I do feel like ethnicity also plays into it. Being a person of colour in nature and claiming that space as your own can be difficult. I used to always feel like when I was out as well, I had to present a certain way and I had to be super respectful. Even when I was in the water, I had to show that I was a great swimmer and I had every right to be there as every other person. I do free swimming lessons as part of the CIC, and we also take children out to the beach and out to nature for them to really see what swimming can bring. So many people I take, despite living their whole life in the UK, some of them have never swum in the sea or never swam in a river, never swam in a lake, and don't know what to expect, don't know if they're allowed, have never seen people like them swimming in these places. But I think when you get them in the water and you're just there and you're just enjoying, you've got the feeling of cold water on your skin, you can't really think about who's watching you or where you are or what you look like, but rather just being in the water. I've never taken someone in the water and they haven't enjoyed it. Everyone I've taken, it has really been like a transformational experience for them, and they've gone again and again and again. And for me, that's a massive thing about claiming the space as our own and having a right to be there just as everybody else, and to see people who you wouldn't typically see in these situations just being and just enjoying is really strong. This notion that black people can't swim is something that I've heard throughout my whole life. My mum heard it, my aunties and uncles heard it, my friends heard it, and I do think it has a lot to answer for in terms of this lack of participation. Not only do people themselves, if they struggle in the water, just see, oh, well, I can't swim anyway, black people can't swim, we can't float. Or, I think sometimes it creates this situation where people go to other sports where they feel more comfortable. But also actually, perhaps even worse, is that I've heard it amongst swimming teachers and aquatic professionals that they genuinely believe in this myth. And I think we are failing such a large number of people by believing this myth and feeding into the stereotype, both people of colour and white people who perhaps are teaching these children. And I think it creates this environment sometimes that people feel like it's not a space for them, and that swimming is perhaps like a middle class sport or a white person sport. The more we just address this head on and actually just show like, no, it's a myth, you can get in the water, you'll be able to float by the end of this lesson, you'll be able to swim, is really powerful. And also being that representation so that other people can see that they can do that as well. I've taken so much from swimming my whole life. I've taken joy, I've taken friendships, employment, everything really. And for me, it's not enough just to have that joy for myself, but really make a conscious decision to try to share that with other people and make it as accessible to other people as possible. Being in the water has made me realise how strong it actually is and how small we are in comparison. Swimming is like a gateway. Once you unlock it, it opens a whole new world.